The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, squeezably soft host. Hang on just a second. I got to grab my remote control and turn the air conditioning off here. It's making a little bit of noise in the back. My consolidations to those up there in the Northeast who are getting ready to get slammed. It's actually in the 60s here. I don't have the air on, but it feels okay. It feels a little cold. We've had a very extremely mild winter down here so far, and other than a lot more rain, pretty good one. But I see all that white stuff, and I shiver and remember the days that I was up north. And glad that I am south of the border now. I don't know what border that would be, but there's got to be some border between people that are continually frozen and those that are not. Anyway, we've got an interesting day. Sold off early in the morning. And, of course, the Pavlov dog's response is to buy any dip in this market. I am seeing a change in that pattern, and that is we actually have had it before the last few major moves down. So I'm sitting on my hands. I am short these markets and short some stocks. In fact, we had a big winner in the Tech Insider today, and I'll get into that. But basically, we've got these markets where everybody will buy a dip, but no one's going to start pushing these stocks much higher on any kind of volume. In fact, today we're starting off, what do we have? Well, a little less than 4 points on the S&P cash with 2 billion shares. So volume is light. Of course, we've got an FOMC meeting at announcement at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. And my guess is it's just going to be a lot of chop until then. So it's time to sit on your hands. My guess is that as we continue to do this, it's more and more likely, not less likely, to have some kind of significant event in the marketplace. I thought we would just start letting the air out of the balloon gently, but it looks to me like the only thing that's going to happen is that it's going to be let out probably quickly, or more quickly than I thought before. But we continue to see just a massive amount of stocks, equities missing. And, of course, people buying them like they're not missing, buying them like the dollar index is not going to continue to put pressure on the market. That is probably one thing different today. We saw intervention. I believe we saw intervention on Friday as we got through 95 in the dollar index. I suspect we got it yet again today. And it looks finally like the Treasury, the Fed, whoever the big cabal is, probably from the Illuminati, if you believe the conspiracy theory folks, which reminds me, I probably need to get my aluminum foil helmet ready to go. But it is, looks like to me, I don't know if you can ever prove it unless they come out and say it, but it looked to me like once again today we are seeing at least some level of the dollar that they want to at least slow it down a little bit. There was some money thrown at it. I suspect we are still going to 98 on the dollar index before we see a significant retrace on this. And maybe we could hit 100, but I'm of the camp of the extended ABC to 98 on the dollar. And at that point, we might see something. But I don't see any juice once we get to these levels. Everybody wants to buy the pullbacks, but no one wants to buy the breakouts. And we see so many stocks breaking out once again, higher highs, pulling back in before the end of the day, back into the trading ranges. Some of them with volume, some of them without volume. And it's still, I don't see any evidence that takes me off the Kodiak bear case. But We'll discover more of that today. In the meantime, you can always give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648. And see if anything else is going on here right now. You can also email me at path@tfnn.com or post a message in the den. What else do we have going on? Oh, we've got a little bit of history, and you know it repeats.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
Everybody wants to believe that the entire world is the first world, since we live in it, here at least in the United States. But as short as, 15, 18 years ago, yet another pyramid scheme almost took down a country. In 1997, pyramid schemes are all over the place in Albania. Furious mobs of bilked investors besieged the nation's deputy prime minister, who cowers for safety in the locker room of a soccer stadium. By some estimates, 1 billion or 30% of the nation's gross domestic product was invested in these Ponzi schemes. Investors lose pretty much everything and end up overturning the government, proving that a financial disaster can single-handedly change the destiny of an entire nation. But what was the first one? The South Sea bubble in the 1600s and the tulips and everything else. And everybody wants to believe that people and human nature have changed, when in all of recorded history, it has not. We may gain more knowledge, but I doubt we gain more wisdom. And everything does repeat. And the only question is when the next giant Ponzi scheme in a country will happen. Not when. I mean, not if, but when. But on this day in 1997, everything went belly up, as they like to say. Of course, over the weekend, the president vowed Sunday to ramp up pressure on Russia after a rocket barrage blamed on the Kremlin-backed Ukrainian rebels killed 30 and threatened to open up a new front in the war. Of course, about 40 minutes ago, we saw a huge move in the Russian stocks as the S&P downgraded the Russian sector. In fact, hang on just a second here. I'm going to bring something up, and that is, what do we have here? Okay, now move this to a new window. There we have, and I'll pop it up here, and I will zoom in here a little bit. These are the major Russian shares, the major Russian MSCI ETF, which is down 7.63%. The market's vector Russian ETF, RSX, is down 7%. QIWI is down 2%. Mobile Telesystems, which is their big telecom over there, down 10%. Yandex, which is their Google, I guess, website kind of thing, down 4 3/8. And Vimple, which is another web-based service over there, down 3.3%. And what else can you say? Every time we do something or say something, Putin knows that, I think he just thinks we're cowards. Let me put it that way. The West in general, and probably pretty shocked that we're doing anything, as it's the one person we're standing up to, of course, is the person that has a lot of nuclear weapons. But what else can you say other than the fact that we're going to try to bankrupt them? We did once in the 80s, and maybe the thought is that we can do it yet again. Of course, Putin coming under additional pressure. And what happens to an animal that's cornered? That is a good question. Will the oligarchs knock off Putin to save their own massive fortunes? And no indication of that happening so far, although several expats from Russia say that that is a likely scenario. And I guess that's probably the end game for the United States at this moment. But again, the S&P downgrading Russia, my guess is there was a phone call from the White House. And so I think it probably should have been downgraded a long time ago. But I digress. Other things going on. Let's get to, well, let me say this. There's a great line in the book that I probably went to as a core of my belief system after listening to a whole bunch of rot over the weekend in the tech sector, listening to a inordinate amount of blowhards. In fact, I've been trying to come up with a kind of a Mount Rushmore of blowhards in the tech sector. Probably a lot easier to find a Mount Rushmore of blowhards in politics. But we started to see a little bit of that come together. But there's a great passage in the first book from Nassim Taleb, Fooled by Randomness. And he said this was a guy that he met early on, and his name is Marty O'Connell, actually fairly famous apparently in New York. I don't pay that much attention to the movers and shakers of New York. I've never been able to find that it made me any money of merit, although there are a few people that just out and out lie, which I kind of like them to go just the opposite side of them. Anyway, Marty O'Connell had a nice theory that was actually part of a study, psychological study done by other people, but it is known as the firehouse effect. And that is people with too much downtime who talk to each other for too long come to agree on many things that an outside impartial observer would find ludicrous. And there was a great many of those kind of things that were just, I just had to laugh at this weekend. But if there was any firehouse right now, I suspect it is San Francisco. And that is people continue to come up with insane ideas, both politically and for products that seem to me to be just literally insane. You wonder how countries like Germany can think that, well, it's a great idea if we can just throw, I don't know, 6 or 10 million Jews in the ovens. And, of course, we're going to just take over all the countries around us and a lot of other things that probably a normal person that would love his kids and didn't want to send them to war would do. But it's a lot easier than you would think to convince a lot of people of something truly insane. Well, Sheryl Sandberg is out. Of course, she's the COO of Facebook. And, of course, she believed that two countries run by women will never go to war. And she continued to bloviate and almost earn a face on the Mount Rushmore of super blowhards in San Francisco. It would have been kind of laughable if the fact is that the gentleman that was killed last week in Argentina, by the way, a country run by a woman, wasn't shot square in the forehead instead of committing suicide like they said. The gentleman that reported this promptly got on a plane and had to leave the country. He was afraid for his life. In fact, he said people were chasing him down the street before he got to the airport, got on his airplane, and moved to another country in South America to get away from these folks. But everybody thinks they got the beat on. Anyway, back a second.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Check out the new look of Tiger TV. Now you can see all hosts, charts, and computer screens live in high definition. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Thinkorswim, or Carol Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV. Now, crystal clear in high definition, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't seen the new look of Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And as we get back, the reason I brought up the whole issue of being politically correct, but it seems, especially in San Francisco right now, that there's a huge push, not for dollars, not for bottom line, not for great ideas, but to be politically correct. And one of my theories has been that, of course, the best CEO we have right now in technology is probably a woman at HP. But they keep pushing people. And when Marissa Mayer, it was about a year ago, she's on the front of all these magazines and everything else, and they're pushing us and they're selling it and everything else. The question is she fundamentally able to change at Yahoo? Certainly, I would say that they were able to change the movement of HP, but mostly because they couldn't rally around her as being politically correct. Meg Whitman, is not going to get a lot of accolades. Of course, people that don't get a lot accomplished are, and the hounds of Wall Street are after Marissa Mayer, and tomorrow they're going to find out exactly how they're going to split out its $38 billion stake in Alibaba. The question is, or pretty much what we'll know, is that the Alibaba stuff, the stock's worth about $5 or $7. Under $10, most of these funds are going to have to sell it. So the question is, how do they financially engineer themselves out of it? And the idea is going to be sell some of it and hopefully get the stock price over 10 bucks ex Alibaba. So I'm going to look and see in that. We're going to probably have a much better idea of how they're going to do it, but it is going to be delicate because, of course, Yahoo by itself, not worth a whole lot. Although I use them a lot, they don't tend to make a lot of cash. And, of course, if they're under 10 bucks, when all the cash comes out from Alibaba, it becomes a huge problem of these funds holding Yahoo. Because most of them have stuff in their charters that say that they will not hold stocks under 10 bucks. And anywhere from $5 to $7 is probably what Yahoo is worth out of its stock price today, ex Alibaba. They bought, 30, 40 companies. None of them really changed Yahoo's bottom line or look to in the near future. Everybody keeps on telling everybody how incredibly smart Marissa Mayer is. And she may be the smartest person in the world. It just hasn't shown on the bottom line and it hasn't shown on any kind of real roadmap to get them out of the rut that they are in. And my thought has always been that, of course, this was all about distributing as much stock as they could before Alibaba exits stage left, and all the cash has to be put to somebody. The big problem that they have is if they keep it, or keep some of it, is the enormous amount of income tax that they're going to have to pay. And so it's a double-edged sword. If she keeps a lot, then the shareholders are going to be absolutely incensed. And if she sells a lot, there isn't a big future for Yahoo's stock price. So watch that tomorrow. It's going to be very interesting to see how it comes out. I'm sure she's a wonderful person, loves her kids and everything else. But to me, it's anytime I see a CEO on the front page of Glamour magazine or being sold to me on CNBC instead of running their company and creating more sales and a bigger EPS, I always have to scratch my head when it's being spoon-fed to us. And I've always been a suspect of Yahoo. Of course, everybody's been trying to ignore the 800-pound gorilla, which is Greece leaving the EU. I think I don't think anybody can do it. All you have to do is go to Wikipedia and or a few news sites to figure out the new prime minister. Is it a prime minister? Yeah, he's the new prime minister of Greece. Is not just a kind of left-wing socialist. I mean, he's pretty much the gun-in-your-face communist. And my guess is that we're going to slowly figure that out. But I don't see any way that Germany offers to throw them yet another shekel their way to continue doing what they've done. That will be the first country leaving the euro. And my guess is that there will be a few more after that before it finds and seeks its level. But to me, it's just a lot of people whistling past the graveyard, acting like it's not going to happen, or trying to make sure that the world doesn't know that it's going to happen. But this is not your average just guy stumbling along the road. He's the full tilt boogie commie. And, well, we'll be back in a minute.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com. nadex.com now. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we come back up 3 points on the S&P cash, 2.2 billion shares on the New York Consolidated Tape. So volume is light, but of course, going to be tough for a lot of people to get in the office for the next couple of days as the snowstorm hits most of the New England. New England accounts for about 72%. I saw a study that said that New England accounted for about 72% of the volume of the U.S. stock markets. So I can assume that it would be problematic to expect a lot to happen before the FOMC meeting. And with very light volume, seeing that this market pushed a little higher, probably not too good for the bulls. But I digress. One of the things you should be aware of, I've seen a couple of companies, I just caught this one, I can't remember the other ones, where they're going to have earnings after the bell tonight at 5 instead of tomorrow, so that they can get them out. Do not be surprised to see earnings calls moved forward and or done tonight or delayed for a couple of days until they can get back into New York. But I think there'll be some disruption out there. United Technology is going to do it at 5 today, but I saw some other ones that I don't know if they were big enough companies or what. I didn't have enough time to dig into it. But if you're long or short some stock, you may want to be doing a little extra work and finding out when these companies are going to be coming to earnings. And if you don't want to be hanging on through it, then you may want to get out early because depending on the snow and the problems, you may not know exactly when they come out. It may be a big surprise to them and you also. Of course, the FOMC meetings, the 27th and 28th, normally we get lighter volume anyway. I don't know if they're going to have problems having their own meeting. It'd be interesting to see if they cancel theirs and just delay it to to the next meeting, or if they have it. You'd think they'd be able to get 12 guys into a room, but I don't know. Anyway, it is a mad market, and as we do every day, we like to look at some stocks. Many times I get emails asking me what the difference between my daily newsletter and my weekly newsletter are. One is more of a long-term investment, and something where I might hold stocks. I'd want to. I haven't been able to in this market. I'd like to be able to hold something for 6 or 9 months or a year. Markets have been rather too volatile to do that. But one of the things we had short in the Tech Insider was Seagate Technology. Now, in the Tech Insider, I look for longer-term plays, and I look for fundamental reasons to back those up, not just charts. And I pretty much try to illuminate my readers what that issue is, all the way through probably starting about Thanksgiving. There were an enormous amount of ads, and I look at all these technical bulletins, and I look at the sales from Newegg and Tiger Direct for computer components and parts. But every day there was yet another ad with hard drive prices falling. And probably at the very lowest one was $40 for two 1 terabyte hard drives. I think that was right after Christmas. But not only that was going on, but we started to see a huge amount of SSD or solid state drives on sale. And the prices on those pretty much from the 1st of December to just in the last week or two have fallen in price. Some of those new drives are some of the ones that have fallen are some of the best and newest technology. We've talked about 3D transistors and 3D memory, and that is a new wrinkle for solid state hard drives. So companies like Seagate Western Digital, of course, getting hammered today as Seagate came out and said, sales are not that good. My thought is that we are probably coming very close to the inflection point, and that inflection point is the same thing that happened when we went from tube monitors to LCD screens in about 2004. Now, part of that with the tube monitors happened because China put the kibosh on exporting rare earth minerals. Part of those rare earth minerals had to do with some of the phosphors that went on tube monitors. And we had a pretty fast transition for computer monitors in 2004, 5, and 6 because of that. Basically, they pushed everybody out of the phosphors that they were using as they were trying to corner the market on rare earth minerals, even back then. But this one was a fairly easy one to do. I was putting ads back in as early as 1st of December when I started seeing the just an inordinate amount of hard drives for sale. And that's kind of the difference. There is a component that has to be made both fundamentally and technically, and you may have to sit around a long time. Now, on Seagate, I think we just about top-ticked this thing. I think I picked I think most of my readers were short this thing at $69 if they did the equity, and if they bought the puts, we bought 65 puts for $1.83 or better. They basically were told to cover. I sent out an update today. It said cover the thing at about $8, and that's pretty close to where it was at this morning. So they got out at about $57 on the equity. So not a bad trade, 12 $12 or so on that. And of course, triple? Would that be right? Four times the price of the option. So a 300% gainer, more than 300% gainer on the puts for Seagate. And that was both a technical and a fundamental call. But all I had to do was keep my eyes open. And as Steve Jobs liked to say, one of the things that you can do is only connect the dots backwards. You can't connect the dots forward. You don't know what you don't know. And what I did know was, of course, that as I started to see prices on hard drives start to fall, and then I started to see prices on the SSDs too start to fall, that there were a lot of people trying to get a lot of inventory out of the market fairly quick. Now, I could have been 1 quarter early, or Seagate could have tried to cover it for a little while. But this started at about the 1st of December, so I was pretty sure that it was going to make it into that quarter, and their forecast would have to show it. But off fairly strong today. Nice winner for the Tech Insider. And unfortunately, a lot of these things take a long time to play out. This one a little bit shorter than most, but most of my big calls over the last year, like shorting Cree, shorting Pandora, were all both fundamental and technical calls. These things have been kind of hard to get, but pretty good indication that, when you get a lot of froth in the water, probably a good time to sell. I like the fact that Kramer was pumping these right up into the top like there was no tomorrow. And I guess he didn't have time to look at Tiger Director Newegg's sales to notice that they were blowing hard drives out as fast as they could. But a nice win out here. But it just goes to show you that even whatever you're interested in, keep an eye out. You can get a good clue to what's happening in the market from sales, prices, and other things out there. But a nice winner for us. And we have longer plays in this sector out until April. I think that we've got probably a good case for a very long-term play. Like I said, in the monitor business, when they went from tube monitors to LCDs around 2003, 2004, I think that there is a good case to be made that solid-state drives available now in terabyte sized. Again, a little bit more expensive, but if you want to get a 500 gig drive or 250 gig drive, 100, 150, $200, and what are they, 10 times faster than a spinning drive? And most of the early problems with those SSDs now, as far as longevity, they're probably going to last 4 times as long as a spinning drive. So most of those issues pretty much over. I was wrong on a spinning drive, a SSD company doing really well, but I am right on the spinning drive companies having probably a lot of headwinds for years to come. Seagate and Western Digital both don't have a real good path for them making money. Of course, when you look at Micron and SanDisk, SanDisk was one thing that pretty much pushed me into believing that there was a long-term move out here. Now, Western Digital got to 96.70. Their earnings are out tomorrow night, I believe. So we'll take a look at them. Or tonight. Is it tonight? Anyway, like I said, this is long-term. These things, of course, the time to get into them was a while ago. So don't go chasing these. But maybe you'll get a nice retracement out of these things, but I think we can find both of these making much lower prices this year based on competition coming back into the market, and we'll take a look at it. Anyway, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can post a message in the den. SSD chips, of course, Micron, they're just NAND memory chips. So you're looking at Micron, who really started to come down in price. Just before I left for vacation and Christmas, I think I was doing a Tech Insider hour, and Tom got a phone call during that, and I warned everybody to be very nervous about Micron and SanDisk. And the reason was that Samsung basically had licensed some 3D memory technology from Intel. And by putting and being able to put multiple memory layers in a chip, you were able to get the density much higher and hence the much larger size SSDs. But most of these, Micron and SanDisk basically ran to the moon because a fire in a company called Highlinks? Highlinks, it's a Chinese company, burned to the ground. And there was a shortage of memory. It started it, and it became problematic to keep those prices up once Samsung got back into production, and so did the Highlinks. Yeah, Highlinks, I don't know how to pronounce it. Highlinks, yeah, whatever it is. Anyway, there was a artificial shortage because of their factory burning down. Not only did Highlinks come back, but Samsung has. They built a $3 billion factory, mostly because of the huge money being made by Micron and SanDisk. And of course, SNDK, they said that music stopped, and of course, that was this huge gap down. But my guess is that this is a sector that for 20 years has been a commodity sector, and it is coming back to that. My call on the disk drive makers is the same there, that they were a commodity maker for a great deal of time. In their case, there was the giant tsunami that came in and flooded all the disk drive makers in Malaysia and caused all the disk drive companies to come to artificial highs on the scarcity. I think we've seen many sectors over the last year to do that. Airlines. Talk about a commodity company that suddenly figured out how to make money. The question is, just when do they break ranks and start having fire sales for airline fees, and we go see them go back to bankruptcy as the airlines have done before? It's very tough to see a commodity company break out of it. And normally when you do see them break out, it's not that long. So if you can get 2 or 3 year run like SanDisk, like the airlines have, the question is it a commodity stock again, like memory looks like it's going to become, mostly because of the huge power of Samsung's manufacturing plants to crank out as much memory as they need, and keep a lid on artificially high prices. Most of the Asian manufacturers are much more willing to have market share than huge margins, and that is going to be weighing on SanDisk and MU for time to come. I don't think these things crater right off the bat, but if I could get Micron back up at 32.5, might be very interesting. Of course, Micron started at about $5, and if you price it as a commodity, that would say that Micron could go back to $5 if the market did have it. Anyway, wanted to look at some stocks out here that were moving. We've had kind of a long speech out here. Where's my thingy here? Wanted to see if anything else was really moving. We talked about the Russian stocks already, which is probably interesting. Seagate, we had a huge mover, then a couple of buyouts and stuff. We've got a miss here. We'll get back to it. BKD when we come back.
How would you feel if you had a powerful decision-making tool that has the ability to find high-probability trading opportunities across multiple time frames in equities, currencies, and futures? Search no more. Take advantage of the best trade with the TAS Profile Scanner. Trade with confidence and clarity while using the software that thousands of institutional traders rely on to help them make the best and most accurate decisions. Scan over 1,000 equities, currencies, and futures instruments for high-probability trading setups utilizing the TAS architecture. As Seen on Bloomberg terminals worldwide, the TAS Profile Scanner is a benchmark technical filtering system that thousands of traders rely on, and now you can too. For a limited time, for TFNN subscribers only, we've reduced the price to just $97. That's over 75% off. Subscribers will also gain access to the December 9th workshop with John Logan. There's no obligation to pay anything. Get your 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner today by signing up at TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders, take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we got some other stocks out here that are moving. BKD, which is Brookdale Senior Living, down fairly significantly for that stock. Basically saying that they're having problems with their earnings and lowering guidance to a range of 295 to 310 versus 305 and higher. So looking a little lower. And of course, market doesn't like that. Down on some fairly significantly high volume. And so what do we see in this? 10 million shares basically going through about that, just a little over that $30 level. But my guess is you're going to see that $30 level challenged in the coming days. It did pop out here, but down on 10 million shares already today. There's a big gap between 27 and 28 if you were thinking about going long this stock. My guess is you're probably going to find the next buy point down around there. Mattel, issued guidance also, and it's off about 4% today. Although a lot of these things are trying to come back a little bit. This is probably not going to be a buy until September or August. This thing normally has some seasonal strength to it going into Christmas. There are a few things going on with Mattel, but probably nothing bigger than it having an issue. We've got, Jim from Del Rey. How you doing today, Jim?
Hey, good afternoon. Excuse my throat. I'm having a little throat problem. I wanted to know about gold. I don't recall you mentioning gold today.
No, it's pulling back a little bit. I'd love to see this thing back at about, for GLD, about 18 and a half. I'd love to see that gap back on, what is that, the 15th, filled. And that would be pretty sweet back there. It comes back. You've got nice light volume on Friday and kind of light volume today as this thing pulls back. I'd like to see, about 119 on that with very light volume. That would set your next ABC up. But interesting chart out here. Probably more interesting to me is, of course, the way that the dollar's having problem at 95, and that gold is kind of off too. So these things tend to be are moving together, which puzzles me to no end. But is there something specific you're looking for?
Your thoughts on dust, D-U-S-T. It's funny,
The 3-time bear share. This thing had a nice little bounce off the bottom. Of course, a light volume out here today, or lighter. We'll see what the end of the day comes out. Probably could get up to 1816.
But look at the price. Gold /GC is down 11 and change. And dust. So the gold stocks are holding up.
Yeah, everybody wants to own a gold stock. They're Andy calls it the fear trade, but it is. I think that there is a lot of fear out here. I suspect that the markets, to me, look very crashy, and I have a feeling a lot of people want to hold gold miners as the insurance against a market that blows up in their face. So regardless of gold moving, it looks to me like these gold miners are the play for a lot of people that think the market's going to have problems in the near future.
But that said, you feel that the dust has a chance for higher prices from here.
Just a normal retraced $18 wouldn't be a big deal. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. So when you can, not when you have to.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. You're watching Tiger TV.